back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So phase 1 of Operation Reconnect emotionally and spiritually with your partner went off without a hitch last night. I tell you what, forget about fucking marriage counseling. Save your fucking money. Just go out there and buy a big rock of MDMA, go to a hotel somewhere nice, and then do it together. Even if nothing's gone wrong in your relationship, nothing's particularly gone wrong in our relationship, it's just you've got 2 fucking kids, you're living at a house where there's like fucking 14 people there all the time, everyone's speaking a different language. It's just like you don't have fucking time to even talk to each other in a deep fucking way. And then when you do get a little bit of time to speak to each other, you're too fucking tired to even give a shit. But when you get some MDMA, you fucking want to speak to each other and you speak straight from the heart. It was nice. It was a beautiful fucking night last night. So I split the rock in half and obviously I took the bigger half. And in all honesty, I needed my wife's half as well if I really wanted to get where I kind of wanted to go. But I had a pleasant experience anyway. It was very enjoyable. I didn't get to the stage where I was like fucking chewing off my face. Even though I wanted to get there, I was praying I would get there. But about 45 minutes in, I knew I was going to be peaking hard. But it was still very pleasant, enjoyable. My wife, on the other hand, she got hit reasonably hard. She fucking loved it. She started dancing and shit. I was dancing. It was fun. And then like about an hour and 20 minutes into it or an hour and a half into it, she's like, does it make you get really emotional? And I'm like, yeah, it makes you fucking get emotional. And then we just had like a 3-hour emotional conversation and we went for a walk and shit like that. It was nice. It was very nice. It was a very nice experience to share together. The only thing missing for me though was about 15 beers and about 4 or 5 more nugs of MDMA. I wanted to get high. I really wanted to get high. I don't feel like getting high today. I don't give a shit about MDMA now, but I took it and I was like, fuck, please God, please fucking Lord, make this hit hard. It didn't. I got to a good place. I was happy. It was nice. It was great. I smoked like 20 fucking darts though. Jesus Christ. MDMA darts are the tastiest. It's like breathing like the freshest mountain air, having a dart on MDMA. It was so fucking good to dart. I felt like shit this morning though. Not from the MD, from the fucking darts. That was the first time I've taken MDMA sober as well. It was a little bit of a different experience when you're not completely fucked before you take some ecstasy. So I was able to see what it does to you a little bit clearer than I have previously. It's a really good drug to access like your emotions. It's fucking great for that. Like, you know how most people just bury their emotions because it's too fucking difficult to process them? You're like, fuck it, I'll look into that later, and just bury it, and eventually you die. Like fucking Bill Burr says. Like one of his old jokes. It fucking rings true. You bury those fucking emotions deep, and if you leave them there, they just metastasize, if that's the word. They spread and fucking cause damage. So all these drugs, if you don't abuse them, which is very hard not to, they seem to have some sort of like useful applications. Like I believe it would be very beneficial for our relationship if we took MDMA together like once every 6 months or something like that. A lot more than we took last night though. And I also have no like urge to go out there and fucking scour the streets for fucking some more MDMA either. I don't really give a shit. It'll be interesting to see what actually happens with me as well, because it is possible I get the bug. He's got the fucking fire in his belly again. He was doing real good, real strong until he started taking ecstasy and acid. Then he just slowly went off the rails. Said all these drugs are like tools and they should be used. And he said he had a lot of work he needed to do on himself, so he started taking them every day. You know? I don't see that happening, but possibly, who knows? Anyway, the googs are done. Phase 1 was great. My wife had a great time. She fucking loved it. She said MDMA is probably my drug of choice now. But anyway, tonight is the acid night. I'm going to finish up this podcast. I'm going to release it. And then we're going to look into the acid. So I've got 2 acid trips, and one is meant to be about 250 mics, and the other one's meant to be about 280 mics. So what I was thinking of doing was taking the one that's 250 mics, cutting it in half, and taking half each, waiting for a little while, and then if we need to top up, just taking the other half each. These measurements aren't even accurate either, because the guy who fucking gave us the acid, he had blotter paper, so it's covered in acid, but they weren't cut into squares, so he's just cut them with some scissors by eye. Like, it's cut in like a rectangle, and the other one's like crooked and shit, like a fucking rhomboid or whatever the fuck they're called. So anyway, it's acid tonight. And again, I can't remember ever taking acid sober. Usually I'm a good few drinks in. I'm kind of excited for it because acid's a tool, like I said, and I've got a lot of work I need to do on myself. We also found a couple of Xanaxes today in this little fucking town somehow. My wife bought 2 Xanax so she can have them towards the end of it. She was a little bit nervous because, yeah, towards the end of the acid trip I gave her the first time, she was not, I wouldn't say enjoying it. She just wanted to go to sleep, and there was a couple of hours left in it, and I didn't think she was going to handle it too well, so I just fucking zannied her up. She fell asleep. Then I had to freak out for 3 hours by myself. Anyway, that's how it went last night. I'll speak to you again tomorrow when I'm spiritually cleansed. Alright, that will do for tonight, and I'll see ya the fuck later.